So first of all, welcome to the People Plus AI campsite. I'm really excited to see so many people interested in this. Pramod is always a tough act to follow, but I think and I'll try to do this. But I think one of the important things that he mentioned was that we built all this digital public infrastructure, and what that has done is basically made us a data-rich nation. And that actually makes us uniquely, poised to leverage AI to leverage AI and make AI available. In fact, some of the biggest things that happen in AI are actually kind of plus one solutions, where basically you're actually in the interface you actually see nothing changes, but at the back end really everything changes, and that's really the kind of way that which and of course, now, things are, we are in a world where, when if I have to talk about AI, I first need to look at Twitter and find out what happened, 15 minutes ago to actually be up to date with things. But I think the important things, the big solutions that are there, are actually things that actually become plus one solutions within interfaces that are there. From time to time, there may be a new interface, a new kind of thing that may happen, but most of the things that happen are actually changes that AI will leverage without it ever being visible in the front end. So I want to talk, obviously in the last few months, the speed of things in AI has dramatically changed. But we've been working on AI and prior to that, and I want to actually talk about specifically one project which is about the project known as the Bhashini project, which is actually a project for Indian language AI. And the goal there was to actually create a situation where basically all products, the goal of the mission is to create all products and services be available to all Indians in their own language, through the means of voice. And we wanted to build this. In fact, this is a project that has been going on for the past year and a half. And I think it's built as an ecosystem approach, where everybody, whether it is universities, or whether it is startups, or whether it is big tech, are all working together to actually create this ecosystem where basically people can actually access information in their own language. And I think that's something that has the potential, right? When we are talking about access, right? How do I increase? Now, when you say that there are 500 million people, how do I increase access? And the way you increase access is to make access through language and through voice, and those are the methods by which you do it. But of course, I think what has happened in the last few months with this generative AI has dramatically increased the possibility of actually moving forward in this kind of thing. And what it has done is, it's done two things. It has democratized everything, but it has also disrupted everything. And I think we must think about both those two things. So what does it mean when you say everything has been democratized? What it means is that every person has now, if I want to learn about something, everybody has access to the biggest expert in the world on that particular thing. Or if I want to kind of find out something about what my legal rights are, or I'm a farmer and I want to get some kind of information, the ability to actually do this is now accessible to everybody. And I think that's really the important thing, that access to it. Now, but at the same time, let's take an example of an education. Now, the access may be there to everybody, but everybody who's there is also disrupted. How we learn will change. How people teach will change. What a school is will change. And I think that's really the kind of things that while access has been dramatically increased, how we react and how we actually work with the AI is something that we have to, and that's where we have to come together and we have to kind of figure out how to actually make these things work for all people. And this is true in domain after domain, right? I think at least many of us here are software developers. Software development for sure has changed, right? Has changed dramatically. The expectation is that every developer would become 10 times more productive than they are today. Or the situation is, if you look at, I mean, I think there are these tests known as lead codes, which people use to get interviews into the top companies. And you see that, GPT-4 is probably better at solving those problems than the best engineers out there. So that gives you an idea that things are actually changing. So therefore, you have to, now things are changing, but you can become more productive. You can leverage these tools. You can basically ask situations to whether it is writing code or generating unit tests or building, writing documentation. All these things are absolutely possible today. Similarly, you look at customer support. Customer support is an area where people, again, I think how these things will have to be completely reimagined. And there are huge opportunities. And everybody is going to build these opportunities so that people have access to the best information. But at the same time, how that impacts various industries and various states. And each one of us have to adapt to actually become, actually take advantage of the things that are happening. So, and I think you can go by that in domain after domain. You can see, I think that we'll see that, for example, there are tutors, which are possible, AI-based tutors, for almost any topic in the world that someone wants to do. And I think that is going to become the essence of how people are going to access education. Similarly, whether it is medical information or legal information, I think the way people access these kinds of things is going to change. And I think that we have to, and access will increase. Everybody will get access. But how things have to change. And therefore, we have to be partners in understanding how things are changing and actually bring it to be actually participants in this. And I will talk about, I think that beyond there are all kinds of issues that are there which are related to these technologies. But I think the one thing that I want to highlight is that, and maybe we will discuss this as part of the breakout sessions as well, is that these large language models which are being created, are they actually something that, are they something that, as a nation, as India, is there something that we should be doing in there? Where are we just users of this technology? Or do we need to do something to actually participate in the core of this technology? The answer is not clear. The answer is not clear at all as to what needs to be done. But this conversation is very, very important to have because the impact that this will have on society is so significant that if you don't think about whether it is you don't think about how we should play in the global space in this kind of area, and that's something that we're going to talk about today. But finally, I think I want to come back to the purpose of community. Where the intent of us gathering here is to create the community. And I hope that all of us learn a few ideas, meet a few people who are doing similar things, and we come together to actually build communities that actually solve the real societal problems. Because there is a great opportunity to solve society's problems that has never been there before this technology was there. And I think that is something that I feel that as if we can all come together and do that and build that community, then I think we would have achieved something. If we start that building of that community today, that could be a wonderful outcome for for us here today. So I think, in conclusion, thanks for all being here. I think we have lots of really interesting sessions that are there, and there are lots of actually demos outside as well. And I think the important thing is, let's begin the conversation on how to make AI work for people. And that's really why we're here today. So thanks.